Nerdy Afterlife.
Hello and welcome to Nerdy Afterlife episode 1. I'm Julian and I'm joined here by my fellow host, Maka.
Hi guys, welcome! It's Friday the 13th.
Maximum spoopiness.
Ooh, scary. And to go with this Halloween spoopy theme, we have decided to do Jojo, because that is scary.
Jojo's Bizarre
Our
Adventure.
Jojo's Bizarre Adventure with scary posing men.
That's scary, more like fabulous.
Scarily fabulous. And
Yeah,
Soul
I'll go with
Eater,
that. Yeah.
which is...
Basically Halloween the anime.
Yes! I feel Soul Eater is Disney if they made an anime and they threw Halloween into the mix.
Ooh, I like to think of it this way. Soul Eater is like if Tim Burton created Disney instead of Walt Disney.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, also, again, side note, spoilers. There will be spoilers for both JoJo's and Soul Eater. So if you didn't...
Spoilers ahead.
This is a spoiler-filled podcast, so if you're not a fan of spoilers, go, run, open a new tab.
Run away.
Basically. Also, can we talk about how... Okay, maybe I don't remember correctly, but I don't remember any vampires in the Soul Eater universe.
That is true. There are no vampires in the Soul Eater universe.
So we have the werewolf guy who is from jail. We have the witch, Death.
Yeah, we have Frankenstein.
Right.
Or Frankenstein's monster.
A mixture of both because
Mixture of both.
Yeah, he has a thing in his head, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
like Frankenstein and his monster in one character.
We have references to Norse mythology. We have... What else? We have demons. We have death. We have pumpkins. We have cats. We have witches. We have everything.
Zombies.
Zombies. So we have every single monster that you could think of that goes with the Halloween theme, but no vampires, which is the first thing you think of when you think of like Halloween monsters.
Well, that and pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, but I see your point.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Oh, we're first going to talk about Soul Eater?
Well, can we talk about it last?
All right.
I really want to yell about Jojo.
So, for those who don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is basically an anime that started in 2012 up to now. It has 4 parts of part 1, Phantom Blood, Battle Tendency, Stardust Crusaders, which is actually into 2 seasons because it's so long, and Diamond is Unbreakable. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to summarize each part, because it's also like that in the manga. There's part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's up to part 8. Yeah. I'm going to summarize each part with
in 60 seconds.
With a single phrase. Ready?
Go!
Part 1. Imagine if the tale of Dracula was retold in Victorian-era England, but everybody had the body language of David Bowie. Part 2. Imagine a teenage Sherlock has to defeat Aztec vampire gods while hitting on his teacher.
What?
Part 3. Benjamin Button becomes a vampire slayer thanks to his grandpa. Part 4. David Bowie gets kink-shamed to death. Part 5. Prince versus the world's most menacing shut-in, or introvert. Part 6. Disneyland without Mickey Mouse is bullshit. Part 7. Horsies are your besties. Part 8, a man with 4 testicles, yes, testicles, is a force to be reckoned with.
I really like that you really had to repeat the word testicles twice. Like, yes, really does have 4 testicles.
It's this whole scene of like, 4 balls? It's like, yes, we've examined it. A doctor has seen it. Those are definitely balls. And there's 4 of them.
And you want people to watch this anime?
No, part 8 is only in the manga. So like, the anime's only up to part 4, hopefully with part 5, fingers crossed. Don't give me that.
Well, I really liked... There's a lot of David Bowie.
They pose so well. You could argue that every part has like the spirit of David Bowie like flowing through it, like his posing and fashion sense.
Alright.
It's very colorful though.
Oh yeah.
Like David Bowie.
I watch it for that. So I like the horsies are your besties.
Thank you.
So for you, I guess My Little Pony fans. Or not, please.
I mean, the horses get hurt.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Not in gruesome ways like in part 1 with Danny, but they get hurt and like it shows the blood. So yeah.
Horrible.
Still a good manga. Actually, I've shown manga part 1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of 4.
Oh yeah. But today we're going to focus on part 1.
Yes,
because...
Phantom Blood.
Yeah.
The story of Jonathan Joestar and his adopted brother, who might be pansexual. Dio.
Because as we mentioned before, we are doing this theme for October, spoopy theme for vampires. We're going to focus on vampires. So the first part of Bizarre Adventure focuses on Dio being a vampire and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so yeah, take it away, Julian. Explain. Explain. My best Dalek voice.
It's the best ever. Okay, so basically it's like Maka mentioned, but with a little bit more depth, or more details, I guess. Part one is about the story of Jonathan Joestar, who, him and his parents, they were in a carriage crash, because it takes place in the late 1800s, right? So Victorian era England, you know, rugby, all that jazz.
Yes.
Then Dio starts off as a sort of pitiful character who's abused by his father, gets beaten up by people in bars and stuff like that. But because Dio's...
Who is misleading because he looked beautiful, and I was like, yes, this is a great character to root for.
Dio's father saved Jonathan's father when Jonathan's father's carriage crashed, right? So Jonathan's father promised Dio's father, like, I will give you like one favor no matter what, like I will give you anything like you want me to, I'll promise anything. So Dio's father cashed it in because he was dying, so he said, like, take this and you like become a rich man, like make the Brando name something worth respecting. Dio hated his father, understandably, after the abuse, spit on his grave, and then said, I will become great, but not for you, for me.
Oh, Dio.
And this, I wish I was there when you saw it, but basically, as soon as Dio comes in, he leaps off the carriage, sticks the landing, and then sets Danny, Jonathan's dog, on fire.
Oh, that's...
No, first he kicks the dog in the face.
He kicks Danny in the face. It's just not any dog, Julian. It's Danny. Get it right.
And then sets the dog on fire.
So, and that's where all my rooting for Dio just died.
He's a good villain, though.
He's a great villain, but...
Too much monologues.
Yeah, way too much monologues. But Dio's a dick. And then he turns into a vampire.
Yes.
So and basically he gets Jojo, we fast forward a bit, and he gets Jojo in a boat, and Jojo and Dio fight over this.
You want to get to this part?
I want to get to this part.
Okay.
There's this other character who comes in. Her name is Erina, who is probably one of the few female characters in the series.
So a bit more context.
And Erina is just dumb.
I'll agree with all that, but a bit more context is that Erina is basically Jonathan's love interest.
Yes.
Right, because Jonathan was, I guess he was a quote gentleman to her.
Yeah, but Dio kisses her first. And he goes something. It is I.
No. He kisses Erina, and then he says, like, you thought your first kiss would be with Jojo or Jonathan, but it was me, Dio.
It was me, Dio.
Okay, he didn't say that.
I wanted to do my Dio laugh.
That's your Dio laugh.
Yes.
It's a very sad laugh.
Oh. Excuse you.
So, anyways, back to the boat scene. So, at this point, Jonathan believes he killed off Dio by chopping off his head. But Dio survived thanks to his cronies, and now he's going onto the ship with his cronies, unbeknownst to Jonathan and Erina. Jonathan and Erina are married at this point, I think for about a year or so? They're on the boat, having fun, dinner, all that jazz, talking about their future and everything like that. Jonathan is, I believe, an archaeologist at this point. So, Dio invades, shit hits the fan, zombies everywhere. And basically, Jonathan and Dio have a showdown because Dio reveals his plan, that he will chop off Jonathan's body, Jonathan's head, and then take Jonathan's body to survive and leave Jonathan to die. It's at this point at which Erina gets involved.
Oh my... And that's where shit hits the fan. It's so stupid.
So, a bit more context. They're fighting in, like, the cargo hold, so, like, the basement of the ship, and Erina is, like, on, like, the level floor in the dining room.
Yeah.
And she goes into the door, sees the battle, and she's like, what's going on?
Alright, so let me just set the scene. So she
Okay.
sees the battle, and there's... People got hurt in the battle, and there's this poor woman who's on the stairs, and she's obviously dead, but her child, her baby, has survived, and it's wailing, crying its poor little lungs out. It's wrapped, swaddled, I don't know. And
The baby was actually a girl.
yeah, it's a girl, which becomes a plot point later on. So Erina, she's like blinded by love for Joseph. She's only like Jonathan. I don't know. They're all named Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So she zeroes in on Joseph.
Jonathan.
I'm just gonna call him Jojo for the rest of the...
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm just gonna zeros in on Jojo. And she's like, oh, there's the love of my life. And she runs, steps over the crying child, doesn't give a damn, and goes to Jojo. And she's like, oh, I love you, you're dying. And he goes like, Erina, literally, there's a crying baby. You just stepped over him. Go rescue him. And she's like, but, and she's like, you idiot! Go get him!
He doesn't say that per se. He says it in a more like polite way of like.
He meant it. He was dying.
He said it in a more polite way
He
of like.
literally could have said anything with his dying breath.
I think what he said was like, Erina, my love, I appreciate that, but please go rescue the child.
Go rescue the kid. And Erin is just like, what? What? Huh? What do you want? I can't hear you. Just like a screaming kid in the background.
So long story short, both Jonathan and Dio die. They end up dying on the boat.
And then Erin is like, oh, I'm stuck with this child now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
She ends up being saved in the coffin while the whole ship goes down, and Jonathan dies with Dio's head like hugged like to his chest. Is like, oh, like I'll carry you to hell, Dio. Dio's like, no, you fool.
And that's the end.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Now you don't have to watch part 1 unless you want to.
Unless you want to yell at Erina. That's the only reason why I would watch part 1, just to yell at Erina on my screen.
Or if you want to know where all those memes on Tumblr are coming from Jojo.
Yeah, now you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
So, going from Jojo to...
Soul Eater! Woo!
Take it away.
Alright, so Soul Eater, like we said before, it's like if Disney made an anime, and... trying to figure out how to better explain it. It has 3 protagonists in a way, but the main protagonist is this 6, 7.
Because remember, Death has 2. He has 2.
Oh, Death has 2. Okay. So first there's Maka and her weapon Soul. So there's 2. Then there's Black Star and his weapon Tsubaki. And then there's Kid, Death the Kid, and both his weapons Patty and Liz. So there's the 7. And basically, in this world, there are people who are Meisters, who have abilities that they can wield people who are weapons. And as the name implies, they literally turn into weapons, be it scythes, guns, swords, anything.
Random question. Do you think Maka could beat the shit out of Harry Potter?
Just want me to say yes. Probably. Harry's gonna be like, Expelliarmus! And she's gonna be like, I'm just gonna kick your butt. Probably.
Who do you think is the worst character in Soul Eater?
The worst character in Soul Eater?
Yeah.
That's have to be, See, the character I hate the most to see on screen, or the one I'm most bored by, I used to really hate Black Star.
Really?
Because he would annoy me.
Ah.
But then he grows as a character, and he gets really good, so...
Yeah.
Like, towards the later part of the series, I really like Black Star. But at the beginning, I was just like, stop.
But there's like no character you just like dislike overall?
No.
series?
I like every character. Especially the Excalibur.
Oh god, that prick.
Fool! It's a great character. Especially when he tells his backstory.
Yeah, for the umpteenth time.
Yeah. So, I really like that. It's my favorite anime, and I really like the visuals because it's a very distinct art style. It's very cartoony, and it's very distinct, unlike Soul Eater not, you know?
Ah yes, the glorious sequel, that all the fans just, just love and...
It's just
like,
a generic anime style.
You ruined the sarcasm.
Yes, because I wanted to cut through it. I was like, no, let's not give any more attention to Soul Eater not.
So, I think the best way to describe Soul Eater not is like...
Trash.
No. I'm not
Steaming pile
I'm not that salty.
of shit.
So, if Soul Eater is like your action adventure, like / horror kind of, ordeal.
Yeah.
Soul Eater not is like if you take all that action and horror and all that like really interesting style, and then insert like the most generic slice of life, moified, like churn out anime, and it's like set in the Soul Eater universe.
Yeah. And you just threw in the Soul Eater characters in the background. They're like, yeah, there they are.
Who are also moified.
Yeah.
With their style.
And it hurts. It hurts so much.
I think Maka looks cuter in the new one. A little bit. A little bit. Personally.
Traitor. Why must you hurt me so?
Just a little bit.
I do like her outfit.
Now who's a traitor?
No, I do like her outfit, but if only they had drawn it in the old style, that would have been way cooler.
Now who's the traitor?
Aw. Why must you do this to me?
Quick question. You read the manga though, right?
Yes.
Like from like
Yes,
beginning to
all
end?
of it, all of it.
What's the explanation behind Soul's like inner remember like whenever Soul gets like really injured, like he sort of like goes into like that deep place where like the small devil dude, he plays a piano and like curtains and like what's the backstory behind that?
It's way too long. And I read the manga. No, don't make me explain it now.
Like is there a brief summary like oh it's like it was related to his parents or something or oh like he has a curse from I don't know Satan or something.
Wait, are you asking me about the demon thing?
Yeah, like
It's because he was infected by the black blood. Black blood.
Black blood?
Yeah.
What's that?
Like, no, not the black blood, the demon blood.
Demon blood?
Yeah.
And they're... I'm trying to remember like what
Do
demon characters are there in Soul Eater?
Do you remember Krona?
Yeah.
And he had the sword,
Yeah.
and he slashed Soul, and
Yeah.
then Soul got infected.
Oh, that's where?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a bunch of other stuff.
Also, Krona is best girl.
Krona, I think it's more of, Ace? I don't know.
Krona is best girl confirmed. Best
Okay.
wife.
Oh, I wanted to ask you.
What's
in
up?
a fight, who would you like to yeah, not in a fight. Yeah, of course, in a fight. Who would you like to see in
Like,
a showdown?
Like between
Jojo
Jojo and Soul Eater?
Soul Eater.
Ooh. Am I not to pick from like any part of Jojo or just the ones you've seen?
I'll just from part 1.
Part 1?
Yeah,
Shoot.
yeah. Narrowed it down.
I would like to see Dio versus the Spider Witch, the one who's awakened.
Yeah.
I like to see Dio versus her because in part 1, Dio had the power. He had the power to like not only suck blood through his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he sucks blood through his fingers. It's gross.
Yeah.
But he also had the power like if he touched you, he could instantly freeze your whole body. Like it doesn't grow like oh from my arm. It's just instant all over.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be interested to see like how like if the spider try like say attacks her with a leg, he like grab it, go like ching, and, like leaps off and goes like attacks her. I'd like to see that. Or maybe I'd like to see what would happen if if Speedwagon tried to pick a fight with Black Star or Excalibur. Both of them just screaming at each other like my Hamon technique will
Hamon.
defeat you.
That's the thing. In JoJo, they had this thing like a jamon technique. And as Spanish speaker, that's really funny because jamon, if you don't speak Spanish, it means ham. And it's like, I'm gonna show you my jamon technique. And I'm like, are you gonna slap them with a piece of ham?
It gets even funny because every time Jonathan fights someone, Speedwagon is always in the background going like, Mr. Joestar, your Hamon technique is marvelous. I'm just thinking like, yes, he knows how to make a damn good sandwich.
It's a good sound. It makes me hungry every time. I was like, yes, the jamon is strong with this one.
With the power of Hamon.
The power jamon.
Before with the summaries I made of like each part,
Yes.
one summary I had in mind was to write like with the power of Hispanic ham.
Power is Hispanic ham.
One English gentleman will defeat David Bowie as a vampire.
That's great. That should be like the only description for JoJo.
Do you think Dio in part 1, do you think his charisma and like his like demeanor is comparable to David Bowie in Labyrinth? Because remember, both of them had that way of like walking around and like sort of being kind of ominous and like
Yeah, but at least the Goblin King didn't kick a dog.
true.
He did kidnap a baby.
Yeah, he kidnapped a kid.
But he didn't partake in animal cruelty, so... Kidnapping...
Human child, a dog.
Gotta go with the dog on this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, our resident misanthrope.
Yeah.
She hates humans.
It's a dog. Danny!
It's a good dog.
It's a good doggo.
He burned bright.
Good boy. Okay, so... what was your favorite character from Soul Eater?
Soul Eater? Oh.
Yeah, favorite character, number 1.
Personally, I really like Death the Kid.
Death the Kid. Was it because he had the both guns?
Well, that, and I also really liked how he, like, how his sort of attitude always kind of like, it was always like parallel to like the main quest. Like he understood when to get serious and like fight and like, you know, like try not to die. But
Remember when he had a breakdown and he had to go home to fix his toilet paper?
to be fair, that was a one-off episode.
Remember when he always has a breakdown because an enemy is like not symmetrical?
But that breakdown helps because it makes him like fight harder.
Does it? Because sometimes Liz and Patty are like, Kid, help us, and Kid is just like, I can't fight, he's hideous.
Which fight was that?
Remember when they're fighting the mummy?
No, because remember, in the Mummy, he was furious and he killed it harder.
Oh,
He made-
that's true.
He made like a mega blast with them with like the guns together. He's like, he blasts through the Sphinx, and then he ruined the Sphinx, and he's like, no, what have I done? Ah, I'm a monster.
Oh yeah, that's true, that's true.
See?
Okay.
But what I liked about Death the Kid is like, even though he knows when to get serious, he always has like his own mindset of like I agree with what you're doing. I'll help you, but symmetry. He's always in search of symmetry.
Remember when he draws he's tried to do Liz's eyebrows? He's like, they must be perfect. When he tries to pluck her eyebrows?
No, I don't remember that
I
part.
can't remember. It's the best part.
The one part I remember was when they were down in the basement looking for, I think, the Keisha for the first time.
Yes.
And I remember like they're trying to like go like see which way to go depending on like the death statues that like point in different ways. Mm-hmm. And like he would see how they were like rearranged and go like one arm goes like straight up and the other one goes down. And he's like, that's not symmetrical. Fix. And it turns like Patty just like makes them just like, damn it, Patty.
Oh, while I was thinking about Jojo and Soul Eater, I
Yes.
noticed a lot of similarities between the two shows. Such as, remember I mentioned them to you? Such as like the music.
Part 1?
Yeah, or in JoJo in general.
Okay.
The arts, the sense, not that they have similarities, like, okay, let me explain and then you'll see, child. Your eyes will be opened to the wisdom that I stumbled upon.
I'll see a brand new world.
Brand new world. Okay, you see how JoJo, right from the get-go, you can see it has its own very distinct anime style. Same thing with Soul Eater.
Right.
It's not, they don't go into the same mainstream anime art style. So there's one. Then
There's one excuse because
I'm not saying they're the only.
No, not that, because in JoJo Part 1, the creator, he not ripped off, but like he copied a lot of elements from an older manga called Fist of the North Star, with like manly men ripping off their clothes and going like, I'll teach you with my like punching technique.
Oh yeah, but he got inspired, but it's still.
But he also copied the art style of like massively buff like 2-foot long shoulders, and like it's really comparable to Fist of the North Stars. Like it's not as original, I would argue, as Soul Eater, which just had like, you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure Soul Eater kind of looks like Disney, so there's that.
Granted.
So, but in terms of anime,
Okay.
I'm saying it's distinct.
All right.
I'm not saying it's like totally original.
Yeah.
In music, the music for Soul Eater, it's pretty also noticeable in
I'm having a,
like the soundtrack. Do you remember the soundtrack? The soundtrack is really good.
I remember it was effective at like making me hyped up for the battle scenes, or like making me scared at like when
Yeah.
they were creeping around. But
Remember that Scandalous one?
no,
No?
like I can't remember. Like if you ask me like to pick like a song from like at this one scene, I'll be lost. Like the only song I remember is like the epic first opening that always got me hyped for the show.
See, that one was really good. And also JoJo has good music, as you say.
Yes, it does. All JoJos have good music.
Ugh.
The best music. They have the best music.
It's the best. Also, the way they fight, because JoJo characters have stands.
That's way in Part 3.
Yeah, but that's later on.
Yeah.
They have stands, and then in Soul Eater, Meinsters have weapons. So it's kind of like, which granted, Meinsters can also do their own fighting like Stein does, but...
And also, remember, the weapons are their own people. So, like, for example, if Maka abandons Soul, he can transform back. But if he stays as a scythe, he's pretty much defenseless. Because, like, if someone comes and chops him up, like,
Yeah.
he's still a scythe.
That's true, but it's not like if you say Naruto, they have, what's it, like...
Jutsus?
Jutsus. Yeah, I was gonna say ninjutsus, but...
I think that still works, right?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
We're hopping around so much.
Yeah.
So, long story short, watch JoJo and Soul Eater.
Watch JoJo and Soul Eater, they're great.
Skip Soul Eater not, according to her.
If you want, you can also skip JoJo.
No, because it's the best ever.
It has a lot of posing. I personally like all the musical references that it has. If you're a big rock and roll fan, or just a music fan in general, you're going to see a lot of references sprinkled throughout the show, which is neat. Pretty rad. To put some knowledge to the test. Also, Soul Eater is pretty fun to watch. I've rewatched it plenty of times. You can also read the manga, which I hate. I hate the ending.
Ooh, also, for those of you who doubt us, and like when we summarize Soul Eater as like Halloween the anime, go on YouTube and type in "This is Halloween AMV Soul Eater," and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all you need. Yeah, that's all you need to like prove you that like this is Halloween the anime.
Also, the ending for Soul Eater is the best. The anime.
We're really gonna do this?
Well,
Such BS that ending.
well, I know it's very controversial.
It is such bull.
And I have a very unpopular opinion.
You don't say.
Yeah, I do. But I stand by my decision.
So
Because I think it's great, because I realize, I know what the production team, they
let's-
had very
let's start by saying
limited...
what the ending is. So
Okay, so basically what
Yeah.
happens near the ending is that they have to fight the Kishin, and the Kishin wipes the floor with all of the main characters because he is super strong, and Maka is the only one left, and...
not this one.
Not this one. Not me. The other Maka. She goes... basically she gets power from somewhere, and she's like, I defeated the Kishin because of courage. And Julian says that is BS, that she can't magically... Also, she discovers in the anime that not only is she a Meister, she's also part weapon. So that's how she also defeats the Kishin, that with her new powers, and that she finds that inner strength, that courage to overcome this terrible evil, which in the end, the Kishin represented fear. Not just a vague evilness upon the world. So that's how she reigns victorious in that final battle, which I think it's great. It's really neat.
Now,
It has like a certain something that I like.
I'll agree with you that in terms of themes, it does coincide with the whole like building up of like, always avoid fear, always build up your own, build up your like yourself through confidence or putting
It's
yourself out there.
inspiring.
I understand that and I'll agree with that. But
Oh, here it comes.
here's the BS part. So, for more details, at this point, when Maka faces off with against the Kishin for the last time, right?
Yeah.
Like the final showdown, Soul is not with Maka, so she has no weapon. She doesn't have her scythe. It's just her alone,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like her having the courage. It sort of manifests as like this giant, like if she was a Super Saiyan, like this blue energy surging around her and goes like with the power of courage, super punch, and just kills the Kishin.
She kind of goes Super Saiyan / Sailor Moon.
Now, that's not the BS part. The BS part for me is where, like, at what point during the series in the universe did they ever say that you could convert an emotion into like a pure energy like that?
Oh my god. They don't. But they don't need to.
Why?
Okay, first of all, like I said, they didn't plan on doing this because the production team, for whatever reason, they decided, hey, let's not continue doing Soul Eater as an anime. This is going to be the final episode. Even though Soul Eater was doing great, I've seen shittier anime continue with like 4 more seasons than it needs to, like Bleach. Okay?
The first 100 episodes were okay.
It's just filler episodes.
There were a few, but like the first major story
few?
arc.
A few!
If you think the first 100 had filler episodes, oh god, no. Oh, you innocent child.
No. It's just... Anyway.
The swords were cool.
True. Anyway, also, the ending in the manga was just bullshit.
In Soul Eater or Bleach?
In Soul Eater.
Okay.
Also in the manga was also bullshit for Bleach. We might have to do a Bleach episode. We do. Also, but back to Soul Eater. And the ending in the anime, I think, was more satisfactory for... kind of satisfactory for me. Kind of. Not really. I don't know. It felt good.
And like...
Because I just like... See, it brought up my questions and it answered. I'll give it that. Because, first of all, it's like, how the heck... What does that mean for Soul? Because if Maka is now both weapon and Meister,
Yeah.
like, Soul is gonna be like, well, I'm out of a Meister.
Yeah.
But also it's like really cool. Oh, this is Maka the only like Meister weapon combo? What's happened there? But still, it's like it was a pretty cool moment. And also back to your point, does it really needed to happen? Maybe it was like this new ability that sprouted, you know, during this fight, because
But if that's the case, it pretty much is just like a Deus Ex Machina moment where like, guys, Maka's just so special that, you know, she can just get his new ability because she's just that amazing.
well, let it happen. It happens all the time with other anime. So,
Granted, that is very true, and it's still bullshit when that happens.
that's true, but just let it happen with a female lead, okay? Let the bullshit happen once.
No, okay. You know what I would have bought?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the mechanic where like what's it called when their souls are like in perfect synchronization? What's it called? Like there's a term
Soul
for it.
resonance.
There we go, soul resonance. Thank you. So if Maka and Soul were backed into a corner, right? They're terrified. They're both scared. They know they're both scared.
Uh-huh.
And if the soul resonance was so strong, they were aware of this, and then gained the courage. I could buy that. Maybe the courage powered the soul resonance so much to the point where they fused. Not like physically like in Dragon Ball Z, but to the point where say Soul is like now like his consciousness is like one with Maka's.
Yeah.
Right? And then through that, she's both weapon and Meister, and then goes all
But
out
the
on the
thing
fusion.
is,
I would buy that.
Okay, but throughout the entire series, they point out how Maka has a Gregorian soul, which means that her soul has wings or something. So later on, she gets the ability to fly. With Soul, but
How is this related?
but also no. But I'm saying that maybe that's the thing, that her soul had a certain something, and from there, it like evolved like a Pokemon.
If that's
During the fight, like something during that fight, it triggered it, and that's why she herself evolved into a Meister. It sounds like a long shot, but you're gonna think it's the final episode. They had to do something.
If that's true, they could have done a little bit of a better job. At least like, okay, maybe not in the build-up,
Okay.
but let's say afterwards, right? In the epilogue,
Yeah.
maybe like they throw in a scene where Death talks about like how, oh, you know, like Maka's Gregorian soul is just like her mother's, you know, she could convert emotions into raw power. Just that phrase alone would have satisfied me.
What? Maybe it was too much exposition.
I still would have bought it, but like, all right,
No,
cool.
you're used to Jojo, because Jojo just exposition this, exposition that. It's just so much. They throw it in your face, and I hate it.
Very true.
Show, don't tell.
Fair point. And even I'll agree, it is very exposition heavy in the first few parts. I'll agree with you there. However, you gotta admit, that courage power thing is really poorly explained. You gotta give me that. Come on.
It's rushed through it. We rushed through it. And it's still great. I love that ending. It's very inspirational. It's still bullshit. We never get to see Maka's mom.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, definitely.
Because everybody's just like, oh, she's so great. She's the best. And everybody's like, oh, she's gonna appear in a final episode. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. And then we get nothing. Nothing.
No, you know, we get a postcard.
We get a stupid postcard. And then I was like, fine. It's the anime. Maybe we'll definitely get something in the manga, you know? Definitely. No.
Really?
No, nothing in the stupid manga. I am
Seriously?
so angry.
Not even like one chapter?
No, nothing. Nothing.
How many scenes were given to the dad and like nothing to... Not even like a flashback?
No. We don't even get a flashback.
Oh my god.
We just get stupid Spirit throughout the entire series. But no mom. And we're like, where is she?
Hey, he tries a bit. A bit?
He tries. I don't feel bad when Stein experiments on him. When he switches his toes.
Our resident misanthrope, everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, but so we're in agreement that the ending was great, yeah? Yeah, okay.
I can accept it unwillingly. Like, if I'm kicking and screaming, I can accept it like, this is BS. But I see your point of it coinciding with theme. I can see where you're coming from, but I still think it's a bit BS. Mainly because of how everything else is explained in a sort of way, and this is just like, no, like, here it is, no explanation, bruh.
Okay.
You know what a Kishin is, you know which is, what's this courage thing? Nah, forget about it.
Nah.
It works.
Courage overcomes everything.
It just works.
I like it. It's a very inspirational speech moment.
I agree with you.
And also like
Still a BS.
I also like to pretend that since her name is Maka, she's talking to me. And I was like, yes.
I won't take away your fantasy from you.
It's my fantasy. See? Because in Jojo, your name is Julian, and you can pretend they're talking to you because your nickname is...
You can say it's fine.
Juju.
Yeah.
So we can pretend it's like Jojo. So.
It's funny, that actually didn't occur to me until you pointed it out. Like, I've been through 6 parts of the
Oh my
manga,
god,
and
I
didn't
would
realize
do that.
it. I didn't realize it until you pointed out, like, oh shit, yeah. I just really like the characters.
Okay. That's what the first thing I would have thought of.
Not for me, sorry.
Oh.
Ooh.
Lame.
Quick question. If there's a Soul Eater video game, what style or genre of game do you think will like work best as like a Soul Eater video game?
Hack and slash.
But like
Definitely.
like a Dark Souls-ish hack and slash where like you fight mobs of enemies, or more like a focus like boss, like a boss rush where like each level is like you focus on a boss and then move on to the next one.
I think either could work if done properly. I personally would like to play a Dark Souls type of thing, but I don't know if it's like properly made with great graphics. We might never get it. Definitely.
Or if there's a 2D fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom, imagine if all the characters from Soul Eater were in there.
Oh, that would be awesome.
With their own combo moves, and like, oh, they can have like combo attacks where like Soul takes over and like does this crazy move. We should make it.
Now you're making me sad because it's not gonna happen unless someone makes it. Make it. I don't know who I'm telling it to. Like, make it.
like some random Kickstarter entrepreneur.
Right. Do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, man.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us on this Friday the 13th.
Ooh, before we leave.
Oh, I forgot something.
A question to the audience.
Oh, yes.
So, in terms of Soul Eater, right? Mm-hmm. Let us know what you think about the ending. Is it BS? Did it inspire you like it inspired Maka? Also, what did you think of the manga? Do you think maybe it was a good thing we were never shown Maka's mom? Do you think she was a bit too much of like the Deus Ex Machina character? Like, when she comes, everything will be solved, guys, because she's just so amazing.
Right. Also, for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, did Julian's explanations spur you to go out and watch the series?
Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you find do the JoJos inspire you to become more manly every day as they do me?
Oh man,
that came out wrong. Fuck.
No, he meant every word of it.
Hush.
All right, so let us know.
That's my headcanon, not theirs.
Oh. So let us know. You can email us at nerdyafterlife@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at nerdyafterlife.
Yes.
You can find us on Facebook at nerdyafterlife.
All links down below.
Or whatever you find this.
Also, all artwork for this podcast was given to us via DigitalArtMonster, aka Orette. You can find her stuff at DigitalArtMonster on Tumblr, on YouTube, as well as her website, which again, all links down below.
Yes, we love you, Orette. You're so great. Also, thank you.
Okay, you want some tea?
My voice. Also, thank you to our DJ Ciisco for making our music.
He's the best.
He's the best. You can find his stuff at SoundCloud at Ciisco
with two eyes.
With 2 eyes.
The letters eyes.
The letter eyes. He doesn't have 2 eyes.
No, he does.
He does 2 eyes. He does have 2 eyes.
It's like CIISCO.
Okay, we're better end this now.
There'll be a link down below.
There'll be links. We'll give you links. Okay.
Does he have 2 eyes? Oh.
Does he have 2 eyes? No, he's not. He's not a pirate.
Yet.
He's not a pirate. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. See you guys in
the next episode.
Next episode, which should be out next 2 weeks sometime.
Yes.
You'll see it. Bye-bye. Peace out.
Bye-bye.